Well, good morning, you guys.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you guys doing today?
Well, you guys, it's been a while since we last posted a Real Talk episode.
Yeah, it's been pretty nutty.
It's been very, very busy.
Yep.
And very wet and rainy.
It's been non-stop rain. It feels like
flippin' stop, man. Non-stop. But that's okay. We've got a lot done in the last little bit. I think the last time that we did a Real Talk episode, we were over at Mike's.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
We've been non-stop go.
Yeah.
So
we helped them out with a pretty good project. I believe he posted a video on it. I know I posted like one day that we were out there.
No.
But we actually ended up going back and forth over to DD5s like 3 times that week.
Yeah.
And then we've had a great weekend, you know. We went to a birthday party for Jen and Wiley at Our Mountain Home's daughter, Emily, her sweet 16.
No.
Had a really great time celebrating with her, even though it was rainy and we were under the tarp for the most of it.
No.
And then we had Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Memorial Day weekend, a good barbecue with Anthony and Rox and Come On, and it was a good time.
It was good.
But again,
really fun.
Very rainy, hiding underneath tarps and stuff and patios and.
Yep.
But it's okay.
It's always a bummer when, Memorial Day, it's a rain crapshoot for the whole weekend type thing.
Yeah.
It's like, man.
Yeah. Usually Memorial Day, people like to be out, barbecuing and hanging out by the lake and stuff. The weather this year has just been very, very wet.
It's not conducive for anything outside, unfortunately.
But today, friends, we have a pretty dry day ahead. And we're going to be taking a hard right. Not really a hard right, but we're going to be... So what happened was... Don't be mad, guys. Don't be mad. I think I changed my mind. So what happened was over this last week... And partly the reason on why we needed a few days break is so we can kind of think about things, reanalyze things, do some more research, and then decide if we want to just keep pushing forward or what we wanted to do. But the last couple of videos that we posted on Simple Life Reclaimed, we were getting crapped on so hard. And I really obviously didn't appreciate that. So that made me kind of recluse back a little bit. But there are some things that were brought to our attention, which is not the crapping on us part that I was talking about, but it's also part of what we were thinking about. So anyway, I digress. The stain color choice that we chose is a great color. I do love that color. However, the product, the Minwax, which actually I have right here. All right. This looks great. It's the color that I want. It turned out exactly perfectly. But when you guys are right, you guys are right. And out here directly on the back of it, it does say for internal use only. However, that does not mean that we only have to use it for the inside, especially because we do plan on water sealing it and stuff.
Correct.
So it's not that we can't use it on the outside. We totally could. But we would have to water seal it. Now, we planned on water sealing it anyway. But I started looking online and just kind of look, because we don't have the 5 extra gallons. We pre-ordered it, but we don't physically have it right now. And before I go and pick it up and before I go and spend the money on it, I started looking into some of the things. And when you guys are right, you guys are right. All right. You guys shamed me into submission.
I'm gonna stop you right there real quick. So I knew that this is interior stain.
Yeah, Gary knew.
I know exactly what you guys are talking about in the comments, and it's comical to me in what it is. Now, when you guys get stain, this is the stain that you're going to be getting regardless, okay?
Maybe not that brand, but...
Not this brand, maybe, but when you're buying stain... You want the oil stain, first off. And if you want it to be more longer lasting outside and everything else like that, you do want the exterior one because it does have the mildew protection in it, as well as it's got other chemical compounds in it for the UV sun, and as well as all these other things that go into the exterior side paint. Now, I know it says on here that, you know, for interior use only. I get that. I know that. It doesn't have any of the mold. It doesn't have any of the UV protection. It doesn't have any of that, which to me personally, it is what it is. I have stained like this for many, many years, and I do enjoy using the stain and then just sealing it on top of it. Mm-hmm. Now, in my mind, this is where I'm looking at it of like, this is cheaper and it will do what we need to do, and we can get it readily at the store right there in town. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Where anything else is all the way to Fort Smith or Russellville.
Correct. And this is the first coating regardless. No matter which way we try to spin it, this is the first coat on the cabin. Mm-hmm. Now, when you're thinking about like UV rays and like it fading and everything else like that, that was partly where I was saying, let's go with the darker or right in the middle of the two because it's going to fade to that color. But it doesn't really matter because I know in about a year's time, we're going to have to readdress it and basically stain it again and seal it again. Mm-hmm. And that's because of the type of stain and sealant that we are going through. Now, I know that they say that they're 10-year warranty stains for the exterior aspects. I've never seen it get to 10 years, even if they claim that it is 10 years. I've never seen it. Never seen it. I mean, you guys might be different. I don't know. But I've never seen it. I've always seen it to where 5 years, you're still having to deal with it no matter what. So it's one of those things, you guys, in my mind. And Melanie has brought this up to me many times from the comments saying that, hey, this and this. And I keep expressing to her that, yes, we can use the stain. Yes, it's going to do what it's going to do. No, you're not going to have the same exact aspects as the exterior stain because it comes with the mold resistant aspects as well as the UV resistance. So
let me explain myself. So I'm not just peer pressured by the comments. To be honest with you, Gary and I are usually on the team. We're going to do what we want to do and to hell with what anybody else says because we didn't sell our entire life and trade our life in the West Coast to come out here and be told to what to do by a bunch of people that we've never met before in our life.
Correct.
Right? No offense. No Correct. Offense. We love you guys. But we are not the type of people that like to be told what to do. We are not the type of people that, usually succumb easily to peer pressure. However, all right, the squeaky wheel was getting the grease on this one only because the amount of rain that we've had recently, guys, has been slowing down production so badly. I'm literally like spinning my wheels here and I'm trying to think of how we can continue to make progress. Even if there's going to be another month long of rain, because today, although it's not raining right now, tomorrow it is, tonight it is, the next day, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm trying to figure out ways that we can continue to make progress going forward without certain steps taking too long. Now, if we were just to continue to go with this, which was plan A, right? I'm going to have to stain every single board, and then we're going to have to go back and seal every board, and then we can hang it. Where with the new stain that I'm going hopefully to get today, I'm going to go to town today and go look at a few different colors. I've got some boards cut up in the back of the car, and my plan is to go to Home Depot and literally like stain a few boards in the store, take it up to the front paint desk area and be like, hey, here's my board. These are the colors I'm thinking of. Let's dab a little bit on each board and get a streak going before I make a big purchase. And then I'm going to buy 5 gallons, hopefully with any luck, that they have there at the store, bring it back. And then this week, regardless of the rain or whatever, I'll be able to get some progress going on this because I'm kind of going a little stir crazy with this, with this rain. It's killing us, guys. It's killing us. So anyway, my thought process was, if I go the other way and I get the 2-in-1 stain and sealer, then it's going to decrease some of the workload on me as far as having to stain it all and then go back and reseal it all. And I'm thinking about the workload because, guys, it is a lot of wood. You guys saw one bundle practically tip the trailer. It is heavy as all right, it really is. It's super heavy. And then we have to pick it up to carry it up this, like you guys are saying, why are you doing it underneath the tents? Why don't you do it inside the cabin? Blah, blah, blah. I hear you on that. And this is why, because it's heavy as heck, man. We got to pick up the boards, carry it up the stairs, take it inside the cabin. The cabin is a complete mess right now because of all of the jobs that we've been doing in there. And then we had ever since we had the termite people, we moved everything away from the wall and like put it like in the middle of the room, and we haven't moved back. So there's without cleaning the cabin upstairs and like putting everything back, there's no place to even put it. So that's something that needs to get done, and before we could even work on it. And then we still wouldn't want to keep it inside there to dry because of how much weight it is. Now I know that we like extra overly built, the floor joists and stuff, and like it's really strong, but why stress the building before it's even finished if you don't need to, kind of a thing. And so what we're talking about doing, I'll go to town, I'll pick up some more of this stain just so we can continue making progress, and it will save me a step, because this next section that I'm going to start working on with all the stain, we are going to take it upstairs into the cabin. We are going to clean and assess the area and get it ready, get some prep areas ready, so that way, regardless of the rain or whatever, I can at least get that one pallet, like the half pallet that's not covered by anything. I can get that one stained and then set into the big tent to dry, and then we can just kind of keep going forward from there. Gary has an idea on setting me up a station underneath the big tent, right?
Yes.
So that way I can stain like the rest of it right there without having to move it all into the cabin. Because again, that's a lot of physical labor that y'all are just not considering.
It's a lot of moving the boards from one spot to another spot, to move it from one spot to another spot, and the distance between those spots, as well as the stairs in between those spots, and everything else that goes into it.
It's further than it appears.
It's a lot more into what needs to be done, and it all comes back down to, why is it that I like to cut my wood on the bundle?
To eliminate as many
as much movement as possible, because if I had to move all 12,000 pounds of siding up into the cabin, first off, the area that we would be able to stain it is only one area in the cabin.
Yeah, like the kitchen area.
Or the kitchen area is still not long enough, and we can't do it this way.
Yeah.
Like, you can't lay it out that way because all the joists are ran that way. Mm-hmm. So all the weight is being put onto the actual subfloor. We have to do it this way, and there's only one spot in our cabin that's big enough for 12 feet that way.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, so
it comes to a point of...
there's a lot of variables that we have to consider.
Weight. That's a lot of weight to put up there. And I really don't even want to put them up there to stain it, to be quite honest. Even that small little bundle.
Really? I thought that's what we talked about last night.
I know you want to, and I keep expressing to you that, I still don't even want to do that. That sounds too much of a nightmare.
I thought we had come to an agreement. Apparently not. So I'll find out where I'm staining it today when I get home from the store. Gary will have me set up with a nice spot. I don't care where I'm doing it as long as
I'm going to clean up upstairs and make it to where if we absolutely need to, then we can. Mm-hmm. But on the days where it's like you're going to be staining in it, if it's beautiful, why bring all the wood upstairs into the cabin to stain it when you can do it outside?
Because we don't have very many beautiful days on the schedule.
I understand that.
And I'm tired of sitting around the house.
I get that.
I'm tired of it, guys.
I get it. But that's where I'm looking at it in the sense of, I'm going to do all this work for you to stain the wood inside when it's beautiful outside. Because we had a week of rain. And we're getting into the point of summer where it's going to be 1 day a week of rain.
Yeah.
So... the weather has been a nightmare of mine because I'm wanting to set up as much as possible and make it to where we can work as much as possible. But by the time that everything is set up and made to where we can work in one way or another, we can easily do it the way that we had planned the first time.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way it goes,
It's just making a lot of extra, running around work for us for almost nothing.
Correct.
I hear you.
So I would rather get that there cleaned up, situated, get it ready to basically be a prep area for when the days are really crappy and we know it's going to be crappy and we can do some staining up in there. Cool. We can do that. However, I don't want to be bringing up all that wood
No, I don't want to bring up all that wood either because it's so much weight, guys. It's so much weight. I was thinking about like the small bundle and doing just, you know, bring up 20 to 40 boards. That's not too much. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to take me a length of time in order to complete. It's not like I'm going to do 20 boards or 40 boards in 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It takes some time. So.
Yes. I understand.
That's what I was thinking. And I don't, you know, however we get to getting it, we are going to get to getting it. We're going a little stir crazy though, because all the stuff that we need to do right now is outside work. We're trying to finish and button up the outside of our house so that way we can continue working on the inside. And I know that another suggestion is, why don't you guys just start working on the inside stuff, like running your electricity and stuff? Because y'all, for like the 1000th time, we just spent so much money on all of the metal for the roof and so much money for all of this siding. We are tapped out until we complete those projects. It's how it is. Until we complete those projects and get all the siding on the house and get the roof completely finished, we are not spending any more resources on anything else because we've already, it just doesn't make sense, guys.
We have spent on the siding.
Financially, it doesn't make sense.
We have spent on the siding and the roof $18,000
in the last 2 months. Who else can do that, guys? Like, that took us so long to save for. Like, so much savings went in order into that.
My thing is this. Okay, so just even with the electrical, you're talking about another $5,000. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we've got $18,000 sitting there still waiting for us to finish. Yeah. You want me to spend another $5,000?
No, we can't. We can't do it. We cannot do it.
On electrical, where it's like, man, and I personally do not want to do any of the electrical until I am ready to do the electrical. In the sense of, I get all the boxes situated where I want it to be. Mm-hmm. All the electrical outlets are where I want them to be. Okay, now let's run all the wires so that way I can make the least amount of run length per run. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I'm not having to sit there and do what we did in the basement, which is going to help me out when I go to do the plumbing, but we ended up spending a lot of money on the basement wire and on the electrical stuff, and we ended up having to make it a little bit bigger and expand them and get them looped and out of the way for piping and plumbing and all sorts of different stuff, because, you know, we're not there yet on that. And that's where it was like, man, we need to get the electrical done. We've already done the hopscotch back and forth, and we did it with the basement. I know how that goes. And I don't want to do that again. Yeah, we have a plan. We have a plan. We have a budget. And so far, Gary and I have been, if I don't say so myself, we've been doing phenomenal at doing this build. 100% without loans, friends. We've been doing it debt-free with cash as we earn it. Correct. And sometimes it takes us a while to continue to save cash so that way we can have these big dumps, right? These big, huge, like, dumps of, wow, there's $10,000. Like, it's expensive to do some of this stuff. And so when you guys are watching videos of people building their houses, that's something that I feel like you guys don't really understand, think of, take for granted. You think YouTubers are just, like, filthy rich. We're not. Maybe some of the really large channels are, but they got like whole production teams. They got editing crews. They've got people following them around. A lot of those big channels that you guys suggest to us, like, oh, you should do like them. That's what's going on for them. And I'm happy for them. Like, they earned it, good for them. But you can't compare us to them because we are totally different tax brackets, totally different people, totally different lifestyles, totally different things going on. And that's the thing with YouTube is that, like, part of YouTube is still very YouTube, right? Where it's not super commercialized, where it's just like people picking up a camera and documenting their life. And then you have this other side of YouTube where it's like the Mr. Beasts of YouTube, right? Where they have these gigantic corporations curating and creating their videos, telling them what to record. They record it, you know, and then that gets promoted, and it's like this whole big production thing, this whole big production team. And there is no right or wrong way. Like, I could see like why the corporatized stuff is appealing, because it's very much like a TV show, like what people are used to watching and stuff, right? But when YouTube started, YouTube was for the individual creators type
people, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. We're trying to stick to our roots when it comes to all of that. We're trying to stay true to us and to who we are and what we like to do. We are a vlog channel. We just record our life, and whatever is going on in our life, that's what's going to be put out in a video. Granted, right now our life is very much consumed by our build, but it won't be forever. And it's not always 100% of the time, because we didn't move out here just to solely focus on building. We moved out here so that way we could reclaim the simple things in life, have less stress, spend more time with our family, learn to be self-sufficient, learn to provide for ourselves food and vegetables, and live off the land, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like with a modern twist, because we're not trying to go back. Personally, I'm not trying to go back to the 1800s. I enjoy my robot vacuum mop. I enjoy the internet. I enjoy technology and refrigeration and things that make my life easier, washer and dryer, you know. However, the values and the simple lifestyle of the older ways is what we're trying to get ourselves back to, if that makes any sense at all.
No.
So anyway, I'm just sorry if we seem a little bit aggressive. Like, we've spent the last week being stuck in the house, and like, we've had a great time. We've had birthday parties, we've had barbecues, we've had a lot of really good times, but also it's been frustrating because Gary and I are both very much the type of people that like to get stuff done, want to make progress on this. We have a personal goal that we'd like to achieve. And with this weather being so damn depressing and just, you know, constantly wet, we're not able to achieve, like, go after our goals the way we want to. And then on top of it, to get just like a big crap on your head just nonstop, like our last couple of videos has been really, really crappy. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know why. But it is one of those things that we have been dealing with, and it's very irritating because it's like,
yeah,
I'm just saying, it's very expensive to create these videos. At least in this niche, it's very expensive, and it's very takes a lot of your energy, as well as Gary and I are not construction workers. We've never done this before, and each step of the way is a trade that people would have to get a lot of education for and a lot of practice for before they even do it, and we're doing it.
Correct.
And we've never done it before. So I feel like that's another one of the things that are taken for granted when watching our content. So anyway, that's enough of my gripe session, but I swear, guys, y'all, some people are mad that we're going over and helping Mike and Lissa, saying that like we wasted our good days. Those days it was raining too. Like, just because you didn't see me filming the rain.
Might not have been as much rain over on that side of the mountain, but the weather is vastly different from over here to over there.
Yeah, and it was raining vastly over here, different. So...
Yeah, the lightning and the everything else that was going on over here was insane.
Yeah.
But it was a nice break to get away from the weather and to go on the other side of the mountain to where there wasn't really
and they had a very big time crunch, you know what I'm saying? They had things that needed to get done so that way they could take their trip to Florida. They've helped us out a billion times. Regardless, they're our friends, and we wanted to be there to help them. To be very blunt, I am almost a 40-year-old woman. I'm 38 years old, all right? I feel like at 38 years old, I don't have to explain how I utilize my time or finances or anything to anyone. And I'm really irritated with people expecting us to have to explain or justify how we plan to spend our time, resources, or anything like that. Like, we are adults, all right? We are adults that can make decisions, and whether you think that they're the right decisions or the wrong decisions, there are decisions, and we have the right to choose what we want to do without being shamed for whatever it is.
Correct.
I don't know.
Correct.
It's just wow. I'm sorry.
No, it's the truth on that, you know. It's
not like we're kids, dude. We have kids.
It's pretty comical. It's pretty comical with some of the comments and some of the things that people say, and people losing their mind because we're not done yet.
Yes.
And whatnot. And it's just like, you guys have no idea. And the funniest part is, you know, anybody that we've ever had come out here and help, pretty much we end up killing them out here because of how difficult it is. And everybody's mindset of like, oh, I could do that, and then they get out here and they can barely, we're doing circles around them. And a point of like, what the heck, dude? Like, I thought you said you wanted to help me. And you're like dying over there, like
no shade,
no shade,
no shame.
But it's
conditioning, right? It's the physical conditioning. There's a lot of physical conditioning. There's a lot
more to it than what people think.
Yeah,
it is not as easy or simple to build a house. I understand where you're Simple Life Reclaimed, but that is partly. We're not a build channel. No, the Simple Life Reclaimed part of it is because we are reclaiming the simple things in life. That is it. Not build a house in the woods. Simple Life Reclaimed mostly means like reclaiming the simple things in life, like, growing your own food, being more self-sustainable, growing a garden, preserving the food, hunting, spending quality times with your family, not being on that never-ending debt wheel, right? That everybody inevitably gets on. I'm very proud to say that Gary and I got out of debt. We did the Dave Ramsey baby steps method, and we did that back in 2019, 2020. I forget the year we actually got out of debt. I want to say it was 2020 though. And we maintained that. Now, I will say we got ourselves a little bit into debt, just a little bit. We have a land payment out here and we have the motorcycle payment. But besides that, we have literally no debts. No debts. And we pay for everything with cash as we go. So, I mean, that's what we mean when we say Simple Life Reclaimed, not, We're not looking for that white picket fence. That's the dream, the American dream that, has been pushed out there so much to where you go to college, rack up that debt, go get a job, rack up to a point where it's like you hopefully can use that degree that you got and whatnot, and trying to pay off that huge debt of college loans and all that, to a point of now going and buying a house to rack up even more debt, to, buying that car, racking up more debt, racking up more debt, racking up more debt. You guys see the thing there with the, the standard American dream of what people think? It's like, oh, yeah, you can't be anybody, or the grass is always greener on the other side because their debt is so high. Yes. And they got the nicest things and the nicest everything, but yet you're not realizing that their debt is this high. Like, yeah, and it's one of those things where we realized real quick how society looks at the way of life, or how you're supposed to be living. Because me personally, I don't like working my butt off to pay off a house that I am trying to so hard to get and everything else, to where I can only spend maybe 10 hours a week in that house before, minus the times of sleeping. Minus sleeping. You're awake in the house for 10 hours out of the week, and then the other hours you're working to pay off said house. And now you have these family, and kids and all this, to where you can't really spend much time with them or anything else like that. Like, it's those kind of things that we're trying to get back, because it is something that has been taken away and has looked at as like, oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let's push all the responsibilities of life away, minus, the work aspects, and just stay in that grind of work to pay off all these debts that you had to have. Yeah. No, there's a meme that was floating around. It's like you work 30 years, you pay off a house for 30 years, to spend some time in it, you know what I mean? But you're really away from your family. And it ends up being like the cats in the cradles and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. And I really don't want that. No. And to be honest with you, I have encountered so much death in my life. Like, I know so many people that have died. No. Dozens and dozens and dozens of people have died in my life. Some have affected me a lot more than others. I think my dad was probably one of the hardest deaths ever to overcome, but some of them that, unexpectedly will kind of rattle you. Mm-hmm. And
when I was going through a very large season of death in my life, that's kind of what got us on this whole thing, because I know so many people that are much younger than me, that didn't even get to be my age, right? And it's like, well, what's it all for? What's the meaning of life? Like, how do you want to spend your time? Nobody knows how much time each of us have. Let's knock on wood here, knockety knock knock, but I could drive to Fort Smith today and get hit by a damn semi truck, and it's over. That's it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So like, nobody knows when, right? We just have to live our lives to the fullest and be the best people that we know how to be, to make ourselves happy and to do good for other people and love God, right? And that's what our objective is. And trying to live peacefully and trying to really spend good quality time with the people that we love. And by doing this being debt-free and by taking our time, right? If it takes us a little bit longer to do it, it's okay, because we're doing it ourselves and we're able to do it together and spend that time together and spend the time with the kids and stuff, right?
Correct.
So it all ends up working out the way that we want it to work out anyway.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Yep. And trust me, there's been many times working and whatnot to where, I get home and the kids are already asleep. Mm-hmm. I leave before they're awake. And I didn't get to spend any time with them whatsoever.
Until the weekends.
Yeah. So it's, what do you want out of life? You know what I mean? What is it that you want? And if it doesn't align with what you have going on, it's only you that's stopping you. Yeah. You're the one that needs to progress towards those dreams or towards those things of what you want, and only you can say what it is that you truly want. If you want to be working, for the man or whatever, right? And spend all that time there instead of at your house or with your family or with your friends or anything else like that, then go for it, if that's what you want. But that's not what I want for me. Yeah, and there's no right or wrong answer, because we're all individuals. And I can see the benefit, right? I can see the benefit. Some people, they have to work certain jobs where they are away from their families. Yep. But the exchange makes it beneficial for them, because they look at what they get in it, and then they look at the amount of quality time, what they can do with the amount of money that they get. Like, maybe they're having increased quality of time. Correct. They might get less time, but the time that they do get, they can spend better, in their opinion, together. And so there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to that. It's all personal preference. But for Gary and I, we wanted quality, but also quantity. Yes. We wanted more quantity of time, and the quality is still there. You got to think outside the box a little bit, right? When you're stretching dollars and stuff, but quantity is what we were more after. We were after of that. So for us and for what we want in our life, this is exactly what we want. And we're not after the materials. We're after the memories. Correct. You can't take it with you, and everything that we have, we're going to be leaving to our kids, and they're going to do with it whatever they want to do with it. It's not going to be up to us. We're not going to be here. But I will tell you, it'll be debt free. Yep. Whatever. I mean, I hope that the taxes don't. Darn government. That's a whole nother rant. That's a whole rant. That's a whole other rant. But it should be good, and the kids are going to have a lot of memories.
Yes.
And they're going to be able to tell their grandkids and their kids and
show them on YouTube.
Show them everything, as well as it's going to be here.
Yeah.
And it's going to be one of those things that I feel like the kids are going to really enjoy. And this isn't just how we're living or anything else like this. This is our legacy.
It is.
This isn't, we never had anything like that in the sense of growing up, like,
no.
We don't come from old money or anything else like that. Like, it didn't have pass downs or, anything, given to us or any which way. We've worked our butts off to be able to provide what we've got for our family and everything. And it's going to be the first time in our generation aspects to be able to give something like this to our kids.
Absolutely.
And it's a huge thing. It's not, we're not taking it lightly.
No.
And it's a lot bigger than what one would even imagine or think. But it's what we want, and it's what we wanted for a very long time. And it's something that is going to be passed on for generations to generations, and it's that legacy that I'm really proud of and happy of.
Me too.
So there's no need to rush through it to get it done even quicker.
No.
Even though, trust me, I want to be done and over with this house, but
but we can't.
We can't just rush through it.
Yeah, we can't. Like we literally can't. And honestly, here's the thing. Like, I was talking to Gary about this last week. Like, honestly, I am so happy with everything that we're doing. Like, I'm happy with our build. I'm happy with all of our choices. I'm happy with everything until you guys tell me not to be.
No.
And I hate to put that on you guys. And it's not you specifically. I'm using you as a blanket term, right? But I'm super happy until the external sources tell me not to be or try to take it away from me. And it's an internal mental battle that I have to... Gary's way better at it than me. He's just like, F them all. Women tend to have more of a struggle with that. And again, I do YouTube so that way we could share our memories and stuff. But I do enjoy like the personal interaction and like the personal connections and friendships and stuff. Gary is like on the camera, like he doesn't deal with any of the YouTube stuff. So it doesn't really like get with him as much as it does with me. And I'm a people pleaser, right? So like I always want to make everybody happy. And like I have this incessant need to like make myself proud, but make other people proud of me. And it goes back to just everything else. So I'm learning how to quiet the noise and to just keep and maintain my happy, because I am happy. I'm a happy person. I'm happy with all of our decisions. I'm happy with the direction that we're going, with the time that it's taking, with how we're doing everything, until the outside noise tries to take that away from me and tells me that I shouldn't be and gives me reasons on why I shouldn't be, and then tries to make me feel bad for my decisions or you know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's not that it takes it away, because I'm still like confident and secure in like what I'm doing, but it's just added noise and just added mud to kind of waddle through. But anyway, enough of this. This one kind of went a little sideways, but you get what you get and don't throw a fit. All right. Love you guys. I do got to run. I got to go to the store. Today is a pretty decent day, very overcasty, but I've got a lot I want to try to start getting done. I am going to stain some boards today. I've got the beautiful one. I'm trying to get it to, I'm going to get some new stain, but I'm going to try to get it to be like the same color of what we've already chosen. So obviously it's going to be a little bit different because it's going to be a different brand, and it's going to be like the 2-in-1 stain type thing.
Yeah, and we might end up having to put 2 coats on it. It just depends.
It does depend. So
here's another thing, just throwing it out there.
Okay.
Another reason why I get the exterior stain. I get it. I understand it. But I don't like it. And I don't like how it's all in one. Now, I'm going to explain to you why I don't like it all in one.
Would you prefer I just go to S&W and get the 5 gallons?
No, you're going to go and do that. You have brought it up to me 7 times, and we've talked about it, and you're going to go get it, because I'm at that point right now. All you guys know what I'm talking about. So 7 times. The reason why I don't like it is because it's got sealer and stain in it. Mm-hmm. This you rub in and massage it into the wood, and it soaks into the grain.
I'm going to do the same with the other.
This, if it had sealer mixed inside of it, it would not soak as much into the grain, because it's going to seal the grain before it stains the grain. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because it's mixed with both the stain and sealer. After doing this with everything else like that, spraying on that stuff, it is what it is. It's partly why I was going the way that we were going about it. But, like I said, I'd rather not. go get the other stain and we'll do it. Because, yeah.
Good thing we only bought like a tiny little pint or whatever, you know?
So I'm hoping that we don't have to do 2 coats on it. We might have to do 2 coats on it because it's not going to soak into the wood as much as, say, that would.
We're going to find out. You know,
it
is 2025, and they have had products like that out for as long as I've been alive. So
they've always claimed 10, 15 years, and you're still out there having to redo it in 5 years. So
of course, but
it's one of those where I'm like,
this you're going to do it every year. Either way, we're going to do it the way that we planned on doing it, with the rag, right? Set it out, and then it's a 2-in-1, so I'm not going to have to do it with the rag and then lay everything out and then have Gary spray it all with the Thompson stuff. However, once we install the siding and we get it up on the building, I think we're going to give it an extra seal just because.
Yeah.
And we will spray that after it's already up on the building, because that's all clear, and it really we wouldn't have to do too much like taping off.
Shoot, we might do it just before we put it up.
Maybe.
Put out like 8 boards.
And spray, wait 5 minutes.
Get them going.
And then
go grab a drink real quick. Yeah. Get all the hoses together.
Maybe. But
situated and tack it in.
Either way, I think that it's gonna be basically like double sealed, because we're gonna have the 2-in-1 stain sealer, and then we're gonna use this regular sealer anyway. Because, dude, with how wet it is out here, my biggest issue is I don't want mold and I don't want wood rot, and that's basically it. I don't want mold and I don't want rot.
Yep.
And that can happen very quickly with living in our climate and going with a wood siding. But we want the wood siding because it's going to give us that cabin vibe. You know what I mean? So anyway, I got to get to running. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate you guys letting us vent and understanding and being here to support us along our journey. It truly means the world to us that you guys give us your friendship. Hope that you guys aren't offended by anything that we said, but if you are, you are. I don't know what to tell you. And we'll be back hopefully tomorrow with another episode of Real Talk. I'm going to try to post some videos on Simple Life here soon too, but the next one, we are going to be back over at Mike's finishing a few things. So stay tuned for that. I hope that you guys enjoy it. And as usual, friends, until the next one, we love y'all and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.